Hey everyone, we are live here on our YouTube, the Mainpod. Welcome to episode 18. We have Julian over here. We're giving it a little test run today, so bear with us. We want you guys to cooperate, ask us questions, tune in, listen, say hi, what's up? We've got to test this out to see if we can have Julian as our little producer over here / working the set, and we're gonna do interviews and just kind of shooting the shit really today. So yeah, it's a little test run today, shooting the shit, ask any questions. If you want to tune in, chime in, go. I'm going live on my IG. So please ask us questions. More so, what's up, Julian? How's your day going?
It's going pretty good. We'll see
good.
if I can push buttons and talk at the same time. It's kind of like chewing gum and walking.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
Chewing gum and you know what? When I was a runner, that's funny. You actually chewing gum and walking. I don't know why I just thought in my head. I used to chew gum so I wouldn't get cotton mouth and dry mouth, and that was like a thing for me. Like keep chewing gum, and it would keep me at a rhythm, at a pace. Have you ever thought
when you were running?
Yeah, when I used to be a runner.
Yeah.
But anyways, total off topic.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about, which was something that was on my mind, and maybe you guys can chime in and let me know what your thoughts are. But Julian. Okay, this is a little hot topic for me. I don't know if it's that hot anymore because I've kind of cooled off. But earlier this week, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about roles as far as a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the day, the roles were really different than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the woman stays home, she raises the family, and the man provides, right?
Right.
In today's society, in today's, generation, especially this Gen X or whatever the hell I don't even freaking know what we are. It's kind of, totally reversed where I see a lot of males now becoming that, if you will, I don't even want to call it a feminine role because it's really not. It's still providing and giving for the family where they're staying home, and now the woman is the one out there in the workforce and field and providing for her household.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, what is your feeling?
Well, before I step into that landmine that you just laid out for me, it's curious.
Hot on my head, guys.
Because you said you were hot on it, and you calmed down a little bit. What do you think about it? Or tell me more about that conversation and what side you took in that conversation.
So the conversation, let me give you the backstory to it. The conversation took place with a male friend of mine. We were just talking about just in general society, So he works a very male dominant field, as an iron worker, let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
And me on the real estate side, on the corporate side, if you will, right? It is and it isn't, whatever. Independent, right? So I'm still a little torn in the sense of like, I'm still very feminine and very, how do I say, very submissive, where I think the female should still get taken care of by the male to an extent, but I'm also very independent because I was raised by, two strong women where it's, what, I got this, I can provide for myself. If you can't, I will, or if you can't, I will for us. So, but I still also very much lean back on like the old school ways, like the chivalry, man opening the door, paying for the bill. If you're gonna ask me on a date, don't have me cover for half your shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still very mindset in that role.
Mm-hmm.
As far as being the provider to an extent, yeah, I as a female, I like that. I want someone who's willing to step up, or let's step up together.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me coming in right off the bat assuming, hey, I'm gonna pay half your shit too. It's nice to have the conversation coming together eventually, but I'm still very old school in the sense of like, as a man, you're my protector, my provider, you know what I mean? That's your role.
So if your man is the provider, right, and he's doing the quote unquote provider role, and he's doing all those things, and he says, hey, I just want you to cook, and I want you to make me a sandwich when I want a sandwich, and I don't know, whatever else, make sure the house is clean and do all that stuff. Are you cool with that too?
Yeah, I'll do all that shit. Mind you, with the understanding, like, I'll meal prep for us type of thing. I'll make sure dinner's cooked, but also we have to fluctuate. Like my job, for example, or our job, we don't have set hours.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have late appointments, sometimes not, with the understanding of, hey, it's okay for you to come in and help out too. But I also like the submissive role of like, maybe that's just my act of service of love. That maybe that's like my love language. It's service too. That's how I show.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me. But I still believe in that.
And your friend, the man, what did he say? Did he not believe?
At first, well, it started. Well, hold on, let me backtrack. There was three of us. One male was like, hell yeah, you should be the man to step up, and the other one was like, nah, in today's generation, if she wants to, she should, and he even was like, I want to retire, I don't want to work no more, so I want my spouse or my partner to, I want to be, basically I want to be the housewife, is what his
Mhm,
comment was,
mhm.
quote unquote.
Yeah, so
And I
he
kind of looked at him like, okay, but what does that entail on your end? Are you going to be cooking and cleaning too? What expectation should she have of you then?
yeah, well, I think it all depends on, all of that. I'm traditional, that the man should be the man. Um, he should provide, but he also should be the leader of the family in general.
Okay.
Um, I think that, in today's world, it's expensive, so it's hard to have a single income, producing kind of a family
I agree.
or household. If you don't have kids, then I think that if my wife or whoever in your what you're describing, it wants to work and have a career, that's great. Um, but as you're finding your person and you're having a family, like the kids and about the well-being and their growth and their upbringing, to me is the most important thing.
Right.
So um think that there's a balance that, things are so expensive, it's hard to only have one working. But in a perfect world, I would definitely always go towards the man. It's the leader, he's the provider, and then the woman can stay home and take care of the family and do those things. And once they graduate, go back to doing whatever. But that's kind of what the family, in my opinion, should be.
Right. You see, that's and ideally, right? That's what America paints the perfect world to be, right? Like the man is the alpha male, he's a provider, protector. He's, the wife is stays at home, cooks, clean, raises the family, has this image to pertain, whatever, right? Like you mentioned, and nowadays you can't even buy a house on one. It's hard. It's
Mhm.
hell hard to buy a house on one income.
Yeah.
Sometimes even two doesn't even cut it, depending, on what you're looking at. But yeah, I agree with you on that. And then this other third party friend, we're not even gonna name him because he was just like gun ho, like, nah, in today's generation, like, no, she should be that and I should stay home.
Yeah, but I bet you that same guy is the same. Like, if you went down his moral code of right and wrong, and what he thinks a man is and what is not a man, and doing the right thing even when nobody's looking, like all these character building things that real men have,
Right.
I bet he would be lacking a few of them.
Oh, absolutely. And that was like the argument that we were having. I was like, what man are you? Like, step up. Like, what are you bringing to the table?
Mhm,
It was my argument.
mhm.
Like, you're on the reverse role, you're expecting her to bring all this to the table. Well, what do you provide to the table?
Yeah,
You know?
I think that just in general, the reason why we, throughout history have had that type of roles anyways is just natural, God-given things that we have, which is, women are typically much more nurturing,
Right.
and so that's why it leads itself to be, you know, taking care of the kids. And that's why when husbands get sick, we feel like we're going to die, and we're, babies, and the wife or the girlfriend or whatever is the one that them back to health, and
Right.
we
The
go back.
nurse, right?
They're the
And the
nurturers,
yeah, the
it's just what they
nurturers.
are. And men are, quote unquote workers. It's just what it's been. Can a woman work? Absolutely. Are they good at it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, but there's different roles that women they excel at more than what men do in the workforce too. There's not, you don't have a ton of concrete layers and iron workers and,
Right.
all these, majority labor jobs having women do that. Are there some? Yes. But for the most part, most women are going to be like, no, I don't
Right.
want to do that. I want to sit in the air conditioning. I want to do this. I want to do that.
And I do believe in the sense of like when it comes to you just touched on the role, like the physical labor stuff, right? As power to say, lift the concrete, this, that, whatever, but we're not physically so-called built for that shit. You know what
Mhm,
I mean? Like,
mhm.
let's just be real. We're not. Our physicality isn't built for manual, hardcore iron labor. Again, no knockout to those out there, but like I said, to my hat to you if you do. But at the same time, I'm just like, no, like there's different roles we can play, we can contribute to our household than the alpha consistently just, dogging in and pushing in.
Do you feel like, I feel like, especially today, like a lot of the words that we use, like alpha is like they're trigger words. When you hear somebody say alpha male, you immediately think, or at least maybe I've been conditioned to think that because of what people say, but the alpha
Condition, there we
male
go.
is like, this like this hardcore guy that's not going to put up with anything. He's not going to listen to his wife. He's not going to do all these things. He's just the alpha, rather than a manly man or a godly man that is going to listen to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he's the quote unquote leader of the family, the wife is the spiritual leader in a lot of ways. Like with my wife has told me many a times, I've had a friend or somebody that I've known or have met, and she's literally came up to me and said, "Hey, this guy, there's something off. I don't know what it is. There's something off with this person."
Mm-hmm.
And there are a few times I've ignored it, and everything she said came true.
Mm-hmm.
So women have a spiritual, different kind of a way of picking up on things that guys just don't. That's why we can't read women. That's why we're always in the doghouse. If I have to tell you why I'm mad, then then you don't even deserve to know.
Damn it! I thought you guys can read our minds.
So I don't know if that was a rant, but like the alpha thing, that's kind of what I feel when I hear that.
No, I totally, or like even Mario mentioned right here, he said that's called the machista dude, right? Or machismo, whatever.
Yeah.
The alpha who's playing that role. But yeah, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. My opinion, just kind of like, we each have our own roles that we play, but we also have our roles that we contribute together.
In your perfect world, if you could have it exactly how you wanted to have it, we could write your story right now. Right. And you had a husband that had enough to make sure that you guys had your household taken care of. You were putting money away for retirement. He was on his way to building a business, and you had kids. Would you want to work?
Yes.
You still want to work?
I still would, because me personally, I like to contribute.
Do you feel like if you didn't work that you're not contributing?
No, because I would contribute in a different aspect in my home.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I'll be contributing, whether it's working side by side or in a different field or working at home. But to absolutely like not work and not contribute in some way to my house, I know.
Do you not think that taking care of the kids and making sure that they're fed and they're bathed and they're doing all those things and cleaning the house and making, cooking food and making breakfast and doing all that stuff, is that work?
It is, but it's a different type. It's a loving, nurturing work, like you just mentioned. It's a nurturing side, right? It's something we want as females. I think we want to do for our family. We want to be the provider for the nurturing side of it,
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like not work, where I'm also not making an impact in community and stuff like that, no, I couldn't just sit at home. And I want to do both. Maybe I just want to be a superwoman. I just want to do it all.
Could you take care of the family and
who gave me a thumbs down
and donate time instead of, if you want to make an impact in the community, then there's other ways to do it. You don't have to have a job that commands your time away from your family.
So my perfect world, I will love, just as anyone, time, right? Everybody, you can't take away time. Raise the family, contribute to my household, have that, stable growth. Also contribute to whoever my partner is. I would want to establish some type of growth aside from home with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
That's my perfect world, right? But again, like we're going back. I am talking 2024 right now. I'm not talking back then. If you tell me back in time and the 1940s or something, my job would be at home with my family, making babies and whatnot.
But why is it different now?
Society, everything's changed. Everything's, the jobs are different. It's independent woman power. It's all the movements that have.
But do you think that woman power and the movements are for the the benefit of society?
I think it's a benefit, in so many different ways, because we are able to view and look at things a lot different and contribute in different ways that I don't think. If it was so closed-minded and those movements didn't happen, whether it was with race or even, the feminine movement, I don't think we would be at where we're at now.
Do you think that the feminine movement Well, let me ask you from
Amazing.
from the early on, uh, look at crime and different aspects of our society, the way kids are, would you say that kids right now have more or less respect for their elders?
Now, less.
Why?
That's a good question.
Could it be that more and more moms or even fathers, two-parent homes, are out there? There's probably a lot less two-parent homes than there was way back then.
Hmm.
Would you say that a lot of more moms work than they did back then?
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of getting at is, do you think that because if you're not home, I mean, when the kid's really small, a baby, 1, 2, 3 years old, but after that they start to go to school, and then at that point, who's raising them?
I think social media at this point, it's,
Social
yeah,
media, teachers, other people that probably more or
they're
less
having a
maybe
different
don't
impact.
align with your own values, and a lot of
Absolutely.
times. And so if the woman is working through those formative years of raising your child and giving them the education and the values and staying two parents and doing all that stuff, then you could make an argument that that could be what's different about a lot of the youth these days, or even when we were kids.
Well, yeah, because we
That
didn't have all the social media and all the technology we did back then. So it was a
shit.
different upbringing and it was a different, society back then too. I mean, like I was raised by a single mom,
Mhm,
and my sister alongside with her, but the values were installed and the perspective of what the world is now versus then is a lot different too.
mhm,
Like I mean, for me, and again, I can't speak on others because I'm not married, I don't have kids. So it's hard for me to say, at least again, this is just outsiders view looking in as an outsider to that. It's social media for sure. From my point of view, it's
mhm.
it's fucking up our kids. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to say, but like it's not giving them a real perspective on real life. It's giving them the bullshit, the fear, right? The fear of like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's all of that. It's that contributes and comes back to the house home when relating back to like who's really raising the kids.
mhm,
Like I remember growing up, I used to get frustrated when I would see, you know, if, I grew up with you eat what's on the freaking table, you don't eat it all. And my mom made sure if I didn't eat it that night, I had that shit for breakfast.
yeah,
That was my upbringing versus, seeing other family members. It's like, oh, you don't like that? Well, let me go make a whole new meal. And I used to get frustrated looking at that because I'm like, what are we teaching?
yeah.
You know?
There's starving kids in Africa.
Yeah. And my mom used to say, like, the whole Cuban, the one manda pachina. So, I'm gonna send your ass to China. That was just like the saying,
Yeah,
but it's crazy that, and you know what, and maybe a little sidetrack on this, that kind of gives me a little fear of even having kids now. Like, what are they gonna learn when I'm at work or doing whatever? Like you said, who's gonna raise them? They're
yeah,
gonna be looking at their tablets or whatever,
yeah,
and that's what's gonna that's the perspective they're gonna have instilled in their head, you know,
yeah. In a
when
perfect
I'm not around.
Yeah, in a perfect world, if I could go back and do it all over again, knowing what I know now,
Mhm.
and I was in a different position to be able to afford to do that. But if I was in a position to afford to do it, I would 100% homeschool my kids.
You would homeschool your kids?
I
Really?
would, I would,
Why?
because two things. One, um, one of the things that sucks, like I've always had this vision of being able to work from anywhere, any place, right?
Mhm.
And when the kids are in school, you're literally held to the school's schedule. You can't travel when you want to travel. You
Mhm.
can't, go and see the world or see different things, expose the kids to different things, because you're stuck to the school's schedule. Where if you're homeschooling, you can do that anytime, anywhere. They can go to school anywhere at
Yeah.
any time. So you have that. And then two, I would be my wife and I would be the biggest influence in their lives. And so they would be um dated every single day having our influence rather than
Someone else's
someone else's
influence,
influence.
yeah.
And you
I
still
can see that.
can put them in sports, and you have coaches and you have sports and friends through that kind of a stuff, or, or, whatever extracurricular activities you can find for them, you still do those things. So they still have a social life, but you're more involved in their life than the other way around.
That's true. Yeah, that you make a valid point. Very valid point. Because I know sometimes I'd be seeing these like videos on the news. This is why I don't watch the news. I know if I was a teacher, so it's a funny story. I went to school to become an educator. That was like my thing. I want to go to school. I'm going to be a third grade teacher, guys. I was going to be a third grade teacher. And I decided not to. And now that I'm watching all these, like, you'll see videos pop up on the news, like this student talking back to the teacher. Oh my God. I think if I was a teacher in today's society, I'll be in jail.
Yeah.
Orange is not the new black for me. I'm too pretty to go to jail. I am too cute to be in jail.
Well, it's the same thing that everybody, it's like why we have new laws, right? We have new laws because somebody went and did something nobody thought of, and they messed it up for everybody, right?
Of course.
Right now our gun laws, like a lot more gun laws because people do stuff that affect law-abiding citizens. So when I was a kid, teachers could hit you. They would smack your hand. They would do different things. You put your hand on the desk.
Got the ruler. Yeah.
Got the ruler, right? And now teachers cannot do anything. Why? Because there's been teachers have gone too far, abused children for things and been over the top because, and I could see how it could happen for some because it's frustrating. Like kids are disrespectful and like you take it too far sometimes. But then now we have a society where you can't do those kinds of things because it's frowned upon. You can't even do it as a parent. It's frowned upon.
That's true. I know. That's true, huh? Because then they're recording you. Next thing you know, CPS is knocking at your door. You're like, what did I do?
Exactly.
And then here's the video. It's hard. It's hard. And that's why I tip my hats to all you parents. I really, really do. Because of especially this generation. Because and maybe that's where I teeter with my own emotions and my own feeling like, damn, can I handle? Because like, I don't know. But it also goes back to like the home, right? Everything falls back to the home, I feel. But again, I can't speak on a parent because I'm not a parent yet.
Yeah.
It's the upbringing, the value install. It doesn't have to mean just because you come from a broken home doesn't mean you have to be broken. I came from a broken home, and I will tell you this: my parents my mother instilled, and my sister instilled, hardcore manners in me. Like you're yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You ain't opening someone's fridge. Like you don't ask for shit unless like it was very, very, very like dialed in,
Mm-hmm.
and then again, it all comes to choices, right? Like my mom would always say, and my sister would always say, like, all right, you want to do, you want to make that choice, but there's a consequence to that. So think about it. Think about it before you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to sit back and think about it. I'm like, damn, maybe I shouldn't do that, So I don't know.
But did she? Well, I was gonna say real quick. I was gonna go back to the kids thing. A lot of the disrespect and all those things happen from. It's not necessarily even the people the teachers that are in charge, right? Or the coaches or whatever, whoever's influencing that's an adult in their lives. It's also their peers.
That
right. Did you see that I saw in? I don't know if it was Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, somewhere over there. A kid was taken away from their parents because the parents wouldn't affirm their gender.
Really? That's crazy. And that's another sensitive topic, guys. This is sensitive topic. I was listening to a podcast because I was trying to get caught up on my Joe Rogan podcast this morning. Cat Williams, a new one out today, guys.
Cat Williams is tripping.
He is tripping. Anyways, but I was literally listening to a podcast. I'm forgetting who the speaker or who the guest was. It escapes my mind. But they were talking about how genders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm kind of changing a little topic over here. How it's messed up some people, not all, because they were allowing children to make choices so early on, whether it's medical, whatever, and put them into therapy, where now it's just messed them up, where before they didn't have these thoughts or issues, and going into therapy has created and has, brought out all these fears for them, or these like issues or insecurities that they never had, And now they're saying there's a study out there, if I'm not mistaken, on the podcast you mentioned, there's a study out there that a lot, especially females who have done these medical changes and whatnot, are now regretting it because they had it done so early.
Yeah. And as a female, I mean, especially you guys have a lot of hormones, a lot of things going on in your body,
Dude.
through 10 to 18, 20, 22. Like there's so many changes. And so when they get older, they start to realize they
Right.
have those natural inclinations of wanting to be a
You can't change
woman and
the
have kids or
bio.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now you've already changed it. That's like it to me, it's the most craziest thing you could ever think up. Like if you told us 30 years ago that this would be a thing, like I don't even know how it could be. You can't buy cigarettes until you're 21. Why? Because you can't make the choice to kill yourself. You can't drink until you're 21. Why? Because you can't make the choice to drink and do dumb things. You can't do so many things. You can't vote in the country because you're not sophisticated enough to decide who you think should be president or not. But yet I can chop off, the most vital things in my body that I was put on this earth to be. I'm going to change those well before I'm able to make any of those other decisions.
And if you as a parent in today's society, because like going back to the video you saw, your child can be taken away from you.
Exactly.
That is so insane.
It's insane.
Me. How fucked up are we, America? Like, it is insane to me that you as a parent nowadays have no say over your child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
You have no say over your child and what they do. Because now they can get taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck up my kids.
Homeschool.
Damn.
Homeschool.
Do I not be a parent? I love kids. I'm kidding. I'm the best auntie in the world.
Yeah,
but that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
you can't sit there and make a choice for your child if your child doesn't like the choice, whether it's a disciplinary thing or whatever that is, and they go complain to someone and you get reported, you either in jail or you get your child taken away from you.
Mm-hmm. But if you decided to let your kid drink,
make that make sense.
12, like
the math ain't math in here, people. The math ain't math in here. Like
that's I just saw that there's a teacher that's suing California in the school district and some other stuff because she had to lie to the parents.
Yeah.
The state forced her to lie because when little Susie comes to school, she wants to be called Bobby, but to her parents, she's still Susie. And so when you have parent-teacher night and the parents come to the school, the teacher has to refer to the kid as Susie, but then when the parents go home, they refer to little Bobby. And so you're forced to be in this lie between, because remember when we were kids, if you were messing up in school, if you're doing different things, you thought that you're drawing people with knives killing other people, right? And you're like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever.
You've seen the school counselor, psychologist, school counselor,
for sure. Your parents are going to find out. The teacher's going to tell your parents. And now you're drawing yourself with the whatever, and nobody can know.
Right. No,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. And it just, again, I know this is a sensitive topic and I don't want to even dig too deep into it because I feel like we just go on and on and on. But even when I was taking my notary renewal class, so as a notary public, I'm here to identify the person in front of me signing. Okay. Think about this. I'm here to identify, not the document, to identify you are signing the document. You are who you said you are.
Right.
On the forms, it gives you a slot. He, she, or they, meaning as like two people, him or her.
Right.
Sole independence. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no them, whatever.
Yeah.
Pronouns or any of that. Nothing.
Yeah.
I remember in the class, now they don't even want us to circle or identify that. I'm thinking, and plenty of us thought the same thing. How are we supposed to do our job if we can't even identify you?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. It's
your
insane.
ID isn't matching you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheila. You ain't Sheila. You look like Bobby on this one.
Yeah.
Like
it's just like you open up that Pandora box, just like
I went there, guys. I went there.
Yeah, we went there. I mean, there's no words for it because it's never ending too. Like, it's just going to continue to get more convoluted and further down this experiment that we're going down to where, because every time you turn around, there's another gender. There's people identifying as cats and dogs and pigs and rolling around.
I'm going to identify as a freaking unicorn, guys. Catch that. I'm going to be a damn unicorn.
Yeah.
One of a kind. One of one.
You could be. You could be. Yeah. So,
oh, man.
I saw that there was I saw somebody online that was literally rolling around in mud because she identified as a pig.
Oh, that's crazy. That is too much for me. But
And the other one is, to your point, like the notary, right?
all right.
You have to identify who this is. You have to confirm that this person is the person who they say they are and that they're signing this document, right? There was a guy that was talking about talking to a paramedic, and he was like to her, if you got called to a scene and the person was clearly a male, but they were saying that they had abdominal menstrual pains, would you confirm and would you check them for menstrual problems, or would you treat them for something that a man would have as the problem, right? Because they identify, if they can be a woman, they're not.
Yeah.
They're just not. It's just not. It's just different.
I can't fathom anymore. I can't even imagine. I can't even talk about it no more. But I'm gonna go ahead and change this crazy conversation because I feel like we could just go endless with this. On a lighter note and on a whole different topic, have you seen the IE freaking blow up with all these new restaurants and breweries? Breweries, I can never say that word.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try now.
Guys, I do read the Daily Bulletin. So on the Daily Bulletin, there's a new brewery, I can never say that word, coming out. It's called Mars. So there's like all these, I think there's like more than 5 or 6 new ones that have came out within the end of last summer and now. It's insane how quickly the IE, and specifically I'm talking Rancho, you guys, because I know Riverside, it's IE is so big and broad. Specifically Rancho, so many new restaurants and so many new places have popped up. The new place, what's it called? Link 52 or Link. Have you heard about that place in Upland?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's like a little sports center. You go there, you can, it's all
golf.
Golf,
you can
baseball,
bowl.
Yes. It's all simulation, right?
Simulation, yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go check it out. So
they've been working on that for a long time. It took them a while to get that going.
Right. Yeah. I've driven past it and I've seen it. So one of our agents here had mentioned, I don't know if it's up and running now. Maybe you guys can correct me on this, but she said the time she went, I believe was a couple weeks ago, the license wasn't established yet or wasn't there yet, the liquor part. So you were able to bring your own cooler. Like,
really?
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Imagine you going down with your friends or even on a date night. Whoever wants to take them on a date, call me. I'm kidding.
I hope she didn't just blow it out and ruin it for everybody that they're letting people bring their own coolers.
No. Well, I'm blowing it out and letting everyone know now. But she had told us, I thought that was pretty cool. She's like, you just bring your cooler, you set up, they'll give you a little spot. It's pretty big. It's pretty roomy. I saw another one of my girlfriends at a different brokerage. They kind of did a little appreciation thing there. I thought that was pretty dope because we don't have anything like that here.
Yeah. I've seen a few of those, but they've been strictly like just the golf thing. And I think it's really cool that they made it to where it's golf, all those other sports, and they have the bar, kind of like a Top Golf, but you're inside and you can do it in any weather and just kind of do,
and there you go.
Different sports.
It's all weather. That's the best part about it. A rainy day, you ain't got to worry about being cold, too hot. I mean, I still like the outdoorsy stuff because I'm an outdoorsy girl, but that's pretty cool if you have the different options, like to hit baseball or golf. I don't know how to golf for the life of me. I got golfing shoes, but I don't know how to golf. I like the look, okay? But just to learn, and just have fun with your friends or family or kids. It's all ages. So they serve food. Drinks, I believe, are coming up now. So for all you drinkers, if not, bring your own coolers. But that's a pretty dope thing, And then all these new restaurants popping up, these donut shops I'm seeing, these hole-in-the-wall pop-up places are now becoming full restaurants. I don't know if you guys follow. I follow this person. It's maybe I'm butchering it right now. It's like the IE guy, him and his friend go out and test all the new restaurants and spots, and you'll see him wear the I love the IE hat. I have 2 of those, by the way. It's pretty dope. Victoria Gardens where I got him. But he goes around and just follow him and you'll check out all these cool new places that are popping up in the IE,
Yeah, I was seeing him because I was contemplating doing that myself, and like he's got a lot of followers.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do one kind of. I'm not gonna tell you guys yet. You guys are gonna see it coming soon. So I have a little something popping up here in the works with a friend of mine that's gonna be relatable to everybody. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I used to be an LA and OC girl, so it's everything that I'm now finding the IE I used to go try to look for out, elsewhere. So, considering it's now in our backyard, freaking love it.
Did you see? So I like to go on like looking for businesses for sale. I just like to look at them.
Okay.
And Last Name Brewery is for sale.
Oh, okay. You guys hear that? So I'm gonna go check out businesses for sale, and I'm gonna check that stuff out.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I'll become an owner.
You can
Make
own
my
a
own
brewery.
beer.
You can own a brewery.
Oh, okay. That's
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
You never been to Last Name Brewery?
No.
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 Well, it's off a foothill in like.
Dude, I'm
Central.
going on this whole detour thing. So I'll let you guys, I'll keep you guys tuned into that so that way you guys can check it out. But I'm definitely going on a tour of some store.
You're going on a tour, okay.
You'll find out. It's, Esther Worldwide. You'll see my travels and
yeah,
tours.
she's gonna start rapping and she's gonna, do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll see. You guys will love it. You guys find it. But yeah, so it's pretty exciting to see all this stuff happening here in the IE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now our mountains are full. Are you a snowboarder or skier?
I am. Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I haven't been up this year yet, but last year was epic.
Okay.
But I haven't been up this year yet.
You haven't? Yeah. The last time I went snowboarding, shit. Yeah. I went up to the Diamond trying to save a friend because she thought she was tough. We're not going to name people out here. But yeah, we were snowboarding up in the Diamond. I went up, mind you, I was already sick. So coming down the Diamond, I ate shit halfway through. I was like, I'm going to sit my happy ass right here until I get the courage to go back down this freaking mountain.
Where did you go?
I went to Big Bear. So it was
Summit.
Yes. We got a pass we actually were staying there for the weekend, got this dope ass house, me and a bunch of friends, and we decided to go snowboard. And one of my friends was telling my newbie friend, like, you got this, girl, you can go up, don't worry about it, I got you, go up, just get on the Diamond. And I'm like, nah, that's not a good idea, bro, don't have her go on. Sure enough, I'm sitting back drinking what are they called, not a wine cooler, I was drinking something, I was drinking a Celsius drink or whatever. And I see him come down the hill and I'm like, yo, where's our friend? He's like, oh, I thought she was behind me. Dude, you took a newbie to the Diamond and your ass is down and she's stuck up on the mountain. You just left her thinking she's behind you?
Was that the same guy that thought that he wanted to stay home and not work and have his women take care of him?
Actually, no, but if he would have been, I would have been throwing so much shade. But maybe I should put his ass in the mountain. Yep. Say, come down this bitch. Yep. But no, seriously, that's the last time I went. And then I remember I went up to go get her with our friend. So yeah, that was interesting. And I ate shit, guys. I really did.
Seems like a common theme. I think you've told me multiple stories where you've eaten shit.
Yeah,
different things.
Yeah, you know what? At least I tried. The whole thing is I like to try something. I'll give it a go. If I'm not good at it, maybe I'll give it a go again. But
have you ever ridden a motorcycle by yourself?
I have dirt bikes, not a motorcycle.
Oh, what's a motorcycle?
I mean, a small version of
like a 2-wheeled motorcycle?
No.
4-wheeled.
I haven't driven a motorcycle. I've driven like dirt bikes. I haven't driven a street bike.
Well, a dirt bike is a motorcycle.
But I don't consider it like what you would think of like a Harley kind of shit.
No. A motorcycle is anything on 2 wheels.
Okay.
Have you ridden a 2-wheel?
Yes,
anything?
I have. Quads and all that. I grew up on a ranch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up with male cousins. So
a ranch where?
In Norco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, guys, I'm very familiar with Norco. So if you want to buy, sell, give me a call.
Yeah.
I grew up on a ranch in Norco with all boy cousins, and we did Taekwondo. We did all that stuff. So I grew up, typical Cuban girl.
Typical Cuban girl in Mexico.
In a white town, in a farmer's town. And there was cockfights and we were having rodeos. Roosters, guys, roosters. Mm-hmm. They're called cockfights, rooster fights. So, and then I barrel raced.
Really?
I barrel raced for a little bit. And that was fun.
That's cool.
You know what? I can say this. I had a wonderful upbringing. Even though my parents divorced at a young age. So it's again, someone said it earlier, don't let, your circumstances be your outcome, Your
past define you.
Define you. There you go. Yeah. See, I'm horrible at quotes, by the way, so don't quote me on anything.
Well, I would actually say too, like there's so many people in this world that are uber successful or have
Mhm.
done a lot of good stuff in their lives, and they've overcome a lot of adversity, and most of them have always had some sort of a past that was not ideal, you know.
Everyone has a past.
But maybe I'm saying like
An ideal past.
an
Yes,
ideal
I
past,
get what
right?
you're
They've had to
saying.
overcome
Overcome.
adversity, whether the parents were alcoholics, or they were beaten as a kid, or the parents separated and one parent
Yeah.
was like a nightmare, or they were in an orphanage. I don't know, but like there's always those things for those people that are successful. It's more common than not, I think, that they have that when they're successful, in my opinion. That's
Yeah.
what I've seen.
No, and I agree with you. And I also am a firm believer everyone has a choice. I always come down to you have a choice in life, you know? Are you gonna let your circumstance, of their past, you be a victim of that? Or you're gonna learn and grow and go in a different route. We all have choices,
Mhm.
everyone has a choice. It's crazy, like me and my siblings, um, my sister and my brother, my sister's 20 years older than me, my brother's 18 years old. They had the same pretty much upbringing, but they're just
Mm.
bipolar opposite.
Mhm.
Me, the same thing. We're just bipolar opposites. But also seen siblings, or another example. My point is, we all have choices. Doesn't mean if you have the same upbringing, you guys are gonna make the same choices, whether it's positive or negative. You're gonna choose whatever path that is for you
Mhm.
to go into or to do.
Yeah.
And there's a consequences, either positive or negative to it.
There's those consequences in there.
Consequences, guys. So
Yeah.
I always have that in the back of my head too. So I try to always learn from my mistakes or from other people's that I've witnessed myself. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
try to listen as best as I can because we're humans.
We
And
always have to touch the stove.
dude,
They tell
I
you not to touch
have
the stove, you
to.
have to
I
touch the
am
stove. Find out.
so hard-headed, and not hard-headed in the sense of I won't listen, I'll hear, but I'll still do it. Like if you tell me don't touch the red button, I'm gonna touch, like you said, I'm gonna touch the stove just so I can see if it's hot.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I fall on my ass and I'll learn that. I'm just that person. Sorry,
That's just
guys.
human nature. I think that's
Curiosity.
what everybody
sure.
does. I mean, that's why parents tell, like I find myself telling my kids things that my parents told me, but I still had to go out and do it anyways. It's just what it is. And I think that, back to the parent thing, I think that, to your point earlier, well, you're going to finish this food, right? Or you're not getting up, or you're going to do whatever,
Yeah.
right? Um, that as parents now, it's so um it's so easy to try to do things for your kids, or to keep them from doing things, but the only real way that they really learn is by doing it.
Right.
Right? You can tell them don't do this, but know that they're going to do it anyways, because they have to. And you can't just do everything for them. You've got to make them do it. And I think we're so wanting fast paced and want to get things done today, that we don't allow them to do it. We don't slow down enough to allow them and wait for them to do whatever it is that you want them to do. Clean your room, or clean up the downstairs. You guys made a mess, and then they don't do it, and they sit on their ass, and then they're not
And then
getting it
we
done.
just do it.
And then you just come in and do it, because you don't have time to sit there and make them do it,
Yeah.
or go through the headache that it's going to take to go through that process to really make them do it. It's tough.
It is.
And then you start doing it for them, and then it just becomes this thing that now you're just in this cycle, and it's hard.
But that's kind of also relates back even to work. Think about that. It's so hard for us at times to even delegate things because we're like, it's quicker if we just do it.
Yeah. It's slowing down to go fast.
And you know what? And I quote, and I learned that saying from Wally Al Sharif, and I still stand by it. Go slow to go fast. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said. Go slow to go fast. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. And it's true. It is such true. And it applies to everything in life. You know?
It's the same thing, just in business, bringing it back to this morning. And, he's just been down, working, calling in the mornings, doing all these things, and having success, but he's doing everything manually and very slow and clunky. And he's like, maybe I need to slow down, take a day or two a week, or a day a week, and just really work on my processes to get that streamlined, so that I can slow down,
Right.
to ultimately start going even faster than what I was doing right now.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I like to continue with that positive note and that positive saying. So with that being said, my friend, where can we all find you and follow you on Instagram?
I don't know. I just changed my Instagram handle. I don't remember what it is. No.
Bro.
I think it's Julian Caesar V.
Julian Caesar V. Why'd you change your handle? You have stalkers?
Yeah, just because I don't know. I change it all the time. I'm always overthinking everything, and I decided I wanted to change it.
Who doesn't overthink? I think all of us have an overthinking like little mentality no matter what. I couldn't even sleep last night. I was overthinking of everything.
Yeah.
And it was really nothing.
Yeah.
We all create these stories in our head.
That's a woman thing.
Shut up.
I just decided it's bedtime and it's over.
It's over. Danny, take that melatonin to calm me down.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I just get into rabbit holes. But anyway, so say that one more time. Where can we find you again?
Julian Caesar V.
Julian Caesar V.
And the V is my real last name. So
Julian Caesar V on IG. So don't forget to follow him. You can find me, Esther Paula, on IG. And please do not forget to subscribe and join our podcast on YouTube. We go live every Thursday at 2. Next week, we have great guests. Actually, we have a great lineup coming up for the month. I'm actually pretty excited. So stay tuned, you guys. Don't forget, subscribe to the Mainpod on YouTube. We will put the link, add it, follow us on IG, and we will
go watch this episode because
watch it.
I did this one by switching these cameras live, talking to her, and I know I missed a couple of them, like for sure. So you'll hear her talking, and it's on me or the vice versa. But just let me know how we did.
Look, we got our multitasker over here. He's doing a great job. So shout out to Julian. Yay. But thank you guys all for watching. Those who are participating, joining the chat, please let us know your thoughts, comments. And next week, please join in as well. I will go live again. I like this little test session we did today, actually, because we just got to shoot the shit, talk what's on our mind. And if you guys have any conversations you want us to touch on or talk about, please let us know. We will see you next week. Bye.